It's officially recording. Good. All right. One more time. Hello, everyone. Welcome to today's amazing masterclass together with Robert, all about a topic on how to master the winning combination of sales signals and content creation. And actually, Robert will show us his amazing workflow on how he streamlines those signals and the lead signals into very targeted posts into content, so that you not can only like create great content on LinkedIn, but to actually reach your leads much faster and more efficient. So that sounds super promising, I know. And when I saw the whole workflow, I was also very blown away, and I'm very happy that we get a full breakdown of Robert today, and that we're also gonna get to know Robert a little bit better. Like, why did he build this whole amazing tool? So this is what will await us in the next 50 minutes approximately. We'll first have a little introduction. Then we'll have a little live demo, which is the most exciting part. So it makes it tangible for you to also use all those tips. Then we're gonna have a fireside chat as well, also with questions from your side. So if you have questions, in the first part, just drop them in the chat and I will make sure to go through them and integrate them in the chat. But you can then also in the Q&A session, just ask them yourself. So make it very collaborative, and I'm very happy to do this webinar. And the most important part is that it is valuable for you. So if you at some point have like a very, very pressing question and you don't understand anything, just feel free to speak up or raise your hand, whatever you prefer. And of course, please stay until the end because we have some amazing goodies to share. Great. So first of all, before I give it over to Robert, for the people who doesn't know me, I'm Carmen, one of the co-founders of Scribe. And what we believe and breathe every day at Scribe is that people trust people, not brands. That's also why we are hearing some tips from an amazing person next to me. And basically the whole idea of Scribe is that we all have such amazing stories to share, and to actually reach more people and to use the potential of the storytelling of a person, not only for you to build a brand, but to also like really benefit for your business or for your career. We wanted to create a tool that makes content creation so easy that everyone on this world basically can share their stories, and not only the ones who have access to expensive agencies or to ghostwriters, but really everyone can share their content purposefully. And that's basically the vision of Scribe. And our mission is, as I said, to make content creation as easy as talking to a friend. And for the ones who are not Scribe users just yet, just a quick breakdown. We analyze tons of posts every day to make sure that your posts are top-notch and are based on the current algorithm trends. We then connect to your LinkedIn account, so Scribe knows ideally your strategy, your style, and the posts are really like based on your tone of voice. And then my most favorite part, you can generate posts like from any input. Also what we see today, how Robert does it, not just from voice memos or podcasts, but also from data and files that you already have. So you never know how much content is actually lying around. You can just upload everything and turn it into the posts that really work for you and your audience. So that's enough for me and about Scribe. Just a quick, because I'm super curious, who is already a Scribe user and who has maybe come more from Robert's side? Hands up, who's a Scribe user already? Amazing. Yay. All right. And who's a Signalist user already? Not so many, I guess. That's amazing because you will be after this webinar, I can tell you. All right, over to you, Robert. I will click for you. Just let me know when you want me to click.
Yeah, thanks for that. So hello everyone. I got to know the Scribe team a couple of months ago, and I think it's a almost match made in heaven, because everyone who's here is probably interested in content creation. But if we're honest, everyone does the content creation for a reason, I assume. And usually more and better results are better. And so I was always working in agency, consultancy, startup environments, both on the marketing and business development side. And many of the pain points I've experienced in my time were around content creation and lead generation, how that ties together. And that's why we've built Signalist to basically track signals. And now that Scribe makes it so much easier to post content, I think there's the potential to create a nice feedback loop, which we will show you in the meeting or in the webinar. So if you want to go ahead, Carmen. As everyone probably knows, right timing, right person, right message is the way to go. Yeah, but unfortunately, this sounds easier than it is, and this is where sales signals come in. Yeah, if I can assume, hey, now the person's interested in something or did engage with my content or even with the content of a competitor, I know the person is problem aware, solution aware, and can use this to my advantage. Maybe you want to go to the next slide. And what this leads to is you basically turn static outreach, hey, let's write all, I don't know, head of HRs of German companies with more than 500 employees or something like that, into something what we call dynamic or signal-based outreach. So I rather look for, is there some topic, is there some LinkedIn event where people, write about things or comment on things, and I wanna then identify, hey, someone of my target group in there. This can be my content, this can be someone else's content, but eventually I know a person is aware. Next slide, please. And what we've built in Signalist are mainly 3 pillars. One, everything around offline events. If you go to conferences, I always found that very annoying to go through networking events, networking lists, and to see like who's attending and stuff like that. Content engagement, which we'll discuss today, and there's other signals. Let's skip this for today. And next slide, I think this is just highlighting that we're going about the content engagement today. And I think there's 3-4 main questions that always concerned me. One, is my content strategy correct? I think Scribe does an amazing job at helping me define my content strategy, also, based on data and the algorithm, which is more complicated than we all like to admit. But on the other hand, what I was curious, do I get the right engagement? At my previous company, we got like 400 or 500 new followers per month on LinkedIn, which was nice, but we didn't really know if it's the right people. And on the other hand, what do the others do? Is there something that I can take inspiration from? And the last question, basically, what do I do with the engagement that I get? And I think, I'm not sure if there's one more slide. Yeah, so I think that's probably the last one. So there's 3 main things about content engagement that we can track. One is everything about or around LinkedIn posts, who posts about a certain topic, who likes such posts and comments. Everything around LinkedIn profiles, who likes the posts of people, who likes comments of people and stuff like that, and everything around LinkedIn events, who is joining basically LinkedIn events of a topic or from an organizer. And that is, a lot of data you can use, both for lead generation, but also for content input. And we will show you in a second how. I think that's it, right? Exactly. Perfect.
Great. So I think we're gonna less talking, more action. I mean, there will still be great explanations from Robert, but I will give it over to you so you can share your screen. You should be able to do that.
Yes. So I hope you can see my screen now.
Yes, perfect.
Okay. So the promise, get better qualified leads with less human effort. That's on purpose. We don't believe in a full automation. I think there's still a human involved, and I think that's also something what we share with Scribe, that automation and AI and data is important and helpful. But a human should still be in the loop and add thoughts, input, or review things. What I did in preparation, I created a few lists. Here, this is the Signalist overview. So basically, we can create two types of lead lists. You can see this here by the clock icon. It's either one-time lists or recurring lists, typically daily lists. Yeah. So, and we use it for different things. So what you can see here is this is a feature which is really new. Yeah, we can also track who engaged with my comments, but we can also track who engaged with with Carmen posts, for example. But we can also we have built something where we track certain keywords, which is not the goal for lead generation, but rather identifying posts that I want to comment on. Yeah, I think everyone knows that posting is super, super important, but commenting also gives quite some nice awareness and reach, and both things combined are making things a lot easier. And for the purpose of this meeting, we also created a list called LinkedIn posts about SEO and AI, just as an example, how you can also use these data points to inform, for example, knowledge base in Scribe. If there's any, yeah, sorry, go ahead.
I just wanted to ask, is there anyone who wants to create a list for them that they can use? I mean, Robert, you can explain what you can do, but then we can have
any volunteer, yeah, we can basically create the lists here now in real time. What we need is the LinkedIn URL of the person or of the organization. In case you want to do this, yeah. If you don't, that's totally fine. Then I can just take, for example, comments on my list to show if anyone wants to do this. Just post your LinkedIn URL in the chat. You should have some engagement of your last posts. But in the meantime, yeah, I will go maybe into your list, Carmen. So basically what we do here is we set up a source, yeah, and the source in this case is Carmen. And I just took, maybe I think
we have some volunteers.
Yeah, maybe
Me.
A lot.
Okay, now it's loading in, yeah.
No, my phone, my microphone wasn't working, so
the first one was Sandra. Sandra has
I think Jonathan from our side, maybe you can create a couple of those lists because there's a few people interested in. So I can also walk you through how it works with one list, but I think it's probably boring if I now do this 10 times in a row. But everyone who wants to, we can obviously do this for you. So what we basically said, we set a source, yeah, and the source can be a post about a topic where I just enter a keyword. One specific post, if there's something where you think like, hey, this is really, really cool, both from a sales or from a marketing point of view, you can obviously just enter the LinkedIn URL and you can build the lead list based on everyone who liked the post or who commented on the post. Or what I did in this case, I took Carmen. You can also take a company profile, but you cannot take both. And I said, I want to get all, let's say, reactions of the last 14 days. And in this case, I want to get everyone who liked the post, who commented the post, who commented on a comment of Carmen, and who liked a comment of Carmen. Yeah. And I make this super quick. Yeah. You can also set some filters. You only care about, let's say, companies that have more than I don't know, 50 employees, or that's where the person lives in Germany, for example. Yeah, so you can basically in all properties that we see, you can do this, and there's certain settings. I'm not going to save it now. In this time, or this case, I just created it as a one-time list, but you can also have this as a daily list and just check it. Yeah, and the rest I will not cover right now. When we go into list, basically what we see is a bunch of icons and a bunch of columns. Yeah, and so basically what we see here is the post from Carmen, the likes and comments it got, and who the person was. Yeah, we see the LinkedIn profile. Sorry?
I think there was someone not
okay. You see, if you have any questions, just jump in. Yeah, but what you can also see here, for example, we didn't find a LinkedIn page of the company. That sometimes, especially freelancers that don't have a LinkedIn page, that happens. But if we do find it, then we get all the data from the LinkedIn page. We see what languages the person added on LinkedIn. We see the employees, industry, so basically everything that's mentioned on the LinkedIn company page. What we can also see is whether I or anyone else has a LinkedIn connection. Else, I mean, like from anyone in my Signalist account. Yeah. So basically, if someone here would be connected with me, there would be a small icon with my initials. I see previous employees and stuff like that. A few data points more. That's basically the core of it. You can export the list and do work in any other system. Or you can assign it to a sequence, and here you can obviously filter as well. That's the main logic of what we've built. Yeah. Yeah, no, I didn't save the filter because then the list would reload, and I think it just, you can obviously here filter, let's say everyone, multiple selection, let's say marketing. Yeah, so everyone who has a marketing title, now 15 people are basically here. So we have two types of filters. Yeah, one which separates the list into what we call pass and no pass. Yeah, but even within the list, you can also filter itself. So it's basically a double filtering. What I actually wanted to show you, and Carmen and I have been playing around with this before. Let me open up, where was this? Signalist engagement of relevant topics. Yeah. So we basically created a list that tracks certain topics. Yeah, outbound is dead, cold outreach, AI, STR, and something like that. And in this case, I care a lot about the content itself. Yeah. So what you can easily do is that you can basically click on it and you can copy this now to the clipboard. You can go to Stripe and select create a post from text, and you can basically copy the LinkedIn post in there. And just for the purpose of trying this out, yeah, we see the comment here. This is a like, yeah, so that obviously doesn't have a value here in the column. And I can also copy the comment into this and say like additional input. And obviously you could say, I'm making this super quick for here now, but like my point of view is that sales signals are the future around content engagement. So, and then engagement. So now we have to. So basically now I turn a list of topics and a list of this can be, you know, influencers. This can be people that have experience or expertise in a certain topic. I can basically use this as one part of the inspiration. You also know the inspiration tab here in Scribe, I assume, where it shows you trending topics around your you know, expertise. But this is, let's maybe pick stop chasing volume. Yeah, I think this is something that we also believe in. And suddenly I've created the draft of a post, basically of the post of someone else. And I think now is the time, Carmen, for you to take over to maybe show how you can make this even better.
Yes, exactly. Are there any questions up until here? I don't think so. Great.
I just had a quick question. Sorry, Carmen. I was just getting off mute. Hey, Robert, it's Sahir. I saw that you were able to pull in comments that people had on your posts.
Yeah.
Are you able to pull in your comments on other people's posts in the same way in your tool?
The comment itself or the engagement of my comment?
The comment itself as a starting point then for a new post. Obviously, I assume you can bring in the engagement on the comment. I think I saw you showed that.
Yeah, so at the moment, we're still refining this feature. At the moment, I would only show a comment if someone engaged with my comment, be it a like or be it a comment on my comment. Yeah, unfortunately, it's a bit complicated. But we're building the feature that even if my comment has no engagement, yeah, that we also show this in the list. So basically, you can create a list of my comments on certain posts and then also train a knowledge base on that, for example. Yes. Yeah. But
So I noticed the impressions start to come up on my comments, and I was wondering about being able to use those impression counts as a way to feed future kind of posts out of the comments where there's high impression on those comments kind of thing.
I would need to check if we can see the impressions. As you said, it's a bit
it's not rolled out yet all the way, maybe.
It might actually be that we can get this,
Okay.
but I would need to clarify with our tech team.
Okay, thanks.
I think
we'll also just show the knowledge base case in a second, so you can even use that already.
Irma, you also have a question.
Just a short one. You're now rewriting a post based on your old post, right?
It's not my post. It was a post.
I see. Because I was wondering, what was the point to repeat this thing you said? Right. So this is someone else's post.
And I think what is the nice thing here is that, I mean, Robert now, like he filtered exactly what his audience is interested in, and based on the fact that he took someone or a post from a potential customer or partner, and added his point of view, plus it, like Scribe turns it into a post that is also fed with his knowledge and his knowledge base, turns it into a post that makes the potential customer or partner think, wow, Robert understands me so well.
No, I get the point now that we speak. It's all good. I was just,
but I wanted to add
wondered
this
if he was
again.
regurgitating his own stuff, but this is very smart.
I just wanted to add this anyway, because I think it's just such a powerful tool to make people think, oh, you understand him so well. Plus you have another kind of insight on something relevant in your audience. But you of course can still say, and that's also what I just wanted to show, because I feel like it's something that most people when they use Scribe overlook or oversee. So the most powerful tool currently, or the most powerful feature, I think, is in this editor when you use the remix feature, right? So what you could do now, for example, is if you have an additional comment from like the list from Robert, or an additional thought that you had, you can just add this input here. So for example, I could say integrate the fact that sales signals are just trending because of, I don't know, can you finish the sentence for me? Because of the huge outbound dying movement. I don't know. So you could copy another comment, or you could combine it with another input from another list. And you can add this instruction to the remix feature. You can then also choose how you want it to be changed. You can also change the formatting, the hook, etc., or even the post length. So maybe you just want a short post, and then use the remix feature to create a new post. So that's one way to add even more input, or to add even more content from the list you created. And then it's basically here, and you can accept it. And then also just one thing before I go into the knowledge base, what most people oversee, if you just want one line to be changed, you can simply mark it, and then you can click on rewrite and say, for example, make funnier and add emojis. And then it will just rewrite this part, because I see a lot of people just typing in here, change this sentence, but this won't work because then the whole post will be changed. So if you just want to change one thing, then you can simply give the instruction here if it's loading. I can just open the chat in the meantime. All right, so I could choose this one, for example, and I have a whole new line here. And then I think the rest, you can schedule and publish it. And now, anything on the post creation and post improvement? Questions? No, all right.
What about the knowledge database?
Yes, do you want to share your screen again? Also, you can see both views of Scribe in black and white. I'll just, so you can share it.
Yeah, so when preparing the webinar, Carol and I thought like, hey, how can we take this even further? So it's also a bit like, you know, giving you some input what is technically possible with the combination of content creation and sales signals. So I told you that I created this list, a LinkedIn post about SEO and AI search, for example. I'm not sure if it will mix up my knowledge database because I'm not the most experienced person about SEO and AI, but anyways. So we created this list here that basically looks for everyone who posted about SEO in AI. And have this list of people posted it. So this is the posts here. What I didn't show yet, which is both, or the main function here again is from a sales perspective, we can add columns or what we call custom columns. And one of the things we typically do is something, again, from a sales perspective, we say like something, please tell me if the following company is a B2B company. Please only reply with yes or no, and please consider the following company description. And if I do this, then I can basically get here the company description of the LinkedIn profile. Let's make this simple. I will not activate web search because it will take a bit longer, but this basically works with every kind of you know, web search agent style. Yeah, so some of our clients think like, hey, does this company have Stripe implemented on their website? Yeah, what's their latest case study? Whatever you think is relevant for your ICP definition and criteria and the pain points. And in case it's public, on the website or on Google, anywhere, it can be found. And then you can basically say, apply this to all columns or companies in this case.
There's a question. Can you specify by region?
Can you
All
specify by region?
For example, if you only want to see posts in the UK?
That is a good question. I'm not sure. Can you on LinkedIn?
Yes, you can.
You can on
not
LinkedIn.
sure if you can access that data.
Yeah. I would also need to check. I think so. I think on LinkedIn you can, if I open the search, let's say here, SEO and AI, for example, and we have some other people, but the posts. These filters are here quite interesting. I think here in this case you cannot get the industry. Sorry, the region. Unless I'm getting something wrong, you can only sort by relevance and stuff like that, and they post a content type, which we don't have. Like we don't have every filter in our tool, so I don't think that filtering by the country is possible. But I will also check this with our tech team. So what we did here is we just for the demo purposes, wait, reset the default. Let me just reload the list. So we asked the AI agent, your experienced SEO professional, please analyze the following content for EEAT scoring, which is like, I think, experience, expertise, authority, and something else. And basically, gave the LLM, the AI, the prompt, and basically prompted it something. We only did this now for 10 people, but basically what it does, it answers something. I said earlier we can export this list, and let me go to the knowledge database. So you can basically add the knowledge, and what we did is we created a PDF out of it, which just has basically the LinkedIn post, the post itself, the answer and the reasoning, and basically upload this as a file. And suddenly we can take all the knowledge, even ranked and weight, by the LLM as a knowledge database in Scribe, which I think is pretty cool, because now I can not only teach it on my knowledge. Am I still sharing my screen? Yes, I am, right?
Yes.
Okay. Not only on my knowledge, but basically on the knowledge of other experts, you know, in my space, and you know, a classification or clarification of the LLM. So just to show you what is possible if you combine sales signals and Scribe, I think there's some pretty fun things you can play around with. We just wanted to show you this.
And maybe also the knowledge base for everyone who hasn't used it yet or is not familiar with Scribe, it's basically the Scribe brain. So it will take that knowledge into consideration for your future post. And whenever you talk about like SEO or AI search results, it will go to that knowledge base data and will integrate some relevant information that is needed, even though you haven't said it or mentioned it, it will just consider it and you can leave it out or in. Yes, so yeah, and there is a bug, it says audio recording, but it's a PDF. We also just recognized that before the webinar, so
I think
very
Francesca
good.
also had a question, right? That is more.
Yes, the tool you use, I want to ask it. Is it like Francesca is asking, the tool you use to enrich is proprietary, or are you using plugins to integrate with external scrapers?
So it's a combination of a few things. We try to not scrape as much as possible, or as low as possible with your own LinkedIn profile. But there's some things like if we go back to you know, I can create lists on who is now the lists are getting created. So for example, who starts following my company profile, who is visiting my personal profile. Also, LinkedIn events is something I can only see with my own account. Yeah, same as here with the LinkedIn people search, which we can also trigger from Signalist. So everything that you can only see with your own eyes, basically. Yeah, we do this with a server-side scraping. So in your settings, you can log in with LinkedIn, a bit similar to Scribe. We save the proxy, and then we can basically operate linked on your behalf. We try to do this as little as possible. So where every time we get basically a LinkedIn post or the actual data from a LinkedIn profile, we have a combination of databases, LinkedIn scrapers, Google search, because many profiles are public. And on the other data columns, for example, some databases connected. So it's a combination of a few technologies. And as you can see, so thanks to Arno and John, they took your LinkedIn profiles. You see it's processing the source, enriching the source, and they should be done in a couple of minutes. Depends a bit like on the volume. Sometimes you also see that if we go to, there's sometimes, you know, a very big list with 1,000 or even more people, that takes a bit longer, but these lists typically should be done in a couple of minutes or 10 minutes maybe.
Nice. All right, so I will switch back to the more, I mean, if there's still something that we need to show, we can always go back. But now it's more time for some chats. Also, feel free to drop any question in the chat that you have been very actively using. Appreciate that. But first of all, I wanted to ask you, Robert, like, you've started this tool especially because you were also annoyed of like old outreach and all the things that you said in the beginning. What do you think are still like the biggest mistakes people make when they maybe not use your tool yet, or also once they use your tool, like it's still very overwhelming? Like, how would you guide someone that is starting to use sales signals?
Yeah. So as I said, I was both responsible for sales and marketing in the past, and I was never a fan of, you know, mass outreach. Obviously, technically that's possible with our tool, but the whole purpose is, you know, rather send less or approach less people, but the right ones, because you filtered correctly and you know your ICP. And I think like if you do mass outreach, that's one thing, but what many people do is like they invest in marketing to get inbound leads, to get engagement, to get brand awareness, or attend conferences. And both ways are not super automated yet. AI makes this a bit easier because now you can turn structured information like, hey, is this a B2B company, which no one entered? You can basically make this into a filterable column. And so what I always wanted to make sure is that we talk to the right people and spend not as much time researching manually when we, for example, go to a conference, but especially when it comes to content marketing. As I said, we were getting 400 or 500 new followers per month and also a lot of engagement. But until we counted this manually, we never knew whether these were the right ones. And even on the right ones, we basically didn't do anything with this. We're basically hoping for inbound leads, and inbound leads are great if they're from the right people, obviously. But if someone engages with your content, starts following a company, maybe there's a reason for that. And we wanted to make this visible, or engages with your content. So these were the two points that made us build the solution.
And you just mentioned that there are like different triggers or different signals that you could track. And thank you for answering that question on parallel. Wow. How would you?
I just had to hit enter.
How do you know, as like, if I start to use Signalist and there's so many different options that I could trigger and take signals, how do I know which are the signals that work for me?
Yeah, that's a very good question. So in my previous company, it took me 1 year to figure out all this outbound game to make this work a little bit, and it actually only worked a very little bit. And I think despite the tools, and the same goes with content strategy and stuff like that, despite the fact that you have tools like Scribe and Signalist and ChatGPT and everything, you still need to know what you're doing, right? And the human needs to refine it and to have a strategy in mind, or knows the in and outs. And that is something that took me, especially in the space of outbound sales and outreach, quite a long time. And today, basically, we have two ways of working together. We have either what we call do it yourself. You can use our tool and get the lead lists and the signals that you know and you care about. Or what we also have is a program called Done With You, where we work 3 months together, deliberately stopped after 3 months. So we don't have an interest in being your sales and lead generation consultant for the next 5 years. On a retainer basis, it's just 3 months where we basically share all the knowledge and the tools we love from Scribe, and there's also a few others. Not everything can be done with Signalist alone. And go into signals, copywriting, and A/B testing, because as it is with content, everyone who posts content knows that even with Scribe, you don't know what's working from the first post. You have to learn and iterate and test out new things, and the same is true for outreach. But you have to test on a structured basis. Otherwise, you're dealing with gut feeling, and it's not super complicated, but it's something you have to learn how to discriminate campaigns against each other. This is what we're doing 3 months together for people that are interested in that, but it's not a must.
And what I think is also very interesting, now we talked a lot about LinkedIn and the platform and doing then content based on those signals, and also turning it into LinkedIn DMs. How would you use Signalist also for emails? Because you can also sometimes access the emails through their profiles. If you have like a super hot lead, how would you take that information from Signal into an email, and how does it differ from you, especially since you have such long experience in that field?
Yeah, so I think when it comes to AI and sales and marketing, I think there's two main approaches, right? One is ask ChatGPT or any other tool, hey, can you please write a message for me? The best outbound email that has ever been written. which we're not big fans of. The quality is getting better, but it depends a lot on the context that you're giving to an LLM to write a nice message, and it cannot know everything, because some information is hidden. For example, does any one of my colleagues has a LinkedIn connection to the person or not? That's simply something ChatGPT or any other tool cannot access. And the other area is like using AI and automation signals for researching. So we're more fans of the latter one, and that's what we've built the solution for. But obviously, in the end, it's about contacting the right people, and we integrate with a sequencer called Lemlist. You can export it and import it to any other sequencing tool. What we play around with recently a lot is basically defining also together with AI the prio or the priority of a lead, whether it's a super hot lead or an okay lead. And basically route it either to LinkedIn outreach for the really good ones and to email to the okay ones, because LinkedIn still has way better conversion rates than email, apart from the whole GDPR topic, which is of course different in different countries, but is a topic on itself, and all the email infrastructure if you go into that technical knowledge. And what we don't really care, we don't have a strong opinion on whether you write manual messages. We also do this sometimes. There are some lists and some leads that are so valuable to us, and we say, of course I'm going to write a manual email, like with all my thought and heart and whatever, that should go in there. There's no problem, sending good structured templates. If we go to an event, for example, hey Carm, I know you're going to whatever Online Marketing Rockstars. We're also there. Should we meet at 3 p.m.? We're doing XYZ. There's not much I can personalize, right? So it's totally fine to send to use a template if the problem I'm solving is relevant for you. And the last one, if you want to export our list and import it into ChatGPT to write email AI generated messages, be my guest. That's up to you. I think people are, especially if you're in that game, you know what works best. And I think all three options are fine. Just do it considerately.
Couldn't agree more. One question more on the product, because I'm always very interested in that. What is next for Signalist?
Yeah.
What can we look for?
Yeah, the roadmap is quite long. I think everything around, I think there were some comments and topics that we already have in place. Can I just get the comment, to basically build a lead list around that. We're building what we call a self-service sign-up. So we're not, at the moment, all the clients we have are, let's say, white glove clients, we work together with them. But we're releasing a self-service sign-up in the next weeks. And together with this, there's a lot of ideas about using especially like this categorization of leads and scoring of leads automatically. So if I take, for example, the engagement of your post, there's a lot of people in there. Some might be potential leads for me, some might be potential partners, some might be potential competitors. And I think AI has gotten so good at research and also affordable. Let's be honest about this. We're talking about hundreds of people that like stuff and common stuff. And if you do everything with AI, like a couple of years ago, this was still, costing a bit of money. They're getting cheaper and better, which is great. And I think automated lead scoring is something that we're thinking a lot about and will implement. And if someone wants to try it out, we're happy to work on this with you as well.
Nice. Very nice. So please, if you have any more questions also in the chat, I just saw one. In terms of Scribe, the inspiration page, there will be an update on that soon. You can filter on the top left corner, you see different industries, and then you can choose different industries, and we'll show you different industries of posts. And then Francesca had another question on sometimes the personalized messages. Oh,
Yeah, so I
maybe you
couldn't.
want to elaborate quickly.
Yeah, I think that was the notion on, like, AI generated messages. There's cool examples around there what AI can do. I've seen messages that say like, hey, I saw you went to, I don't know, this university in this year. Do you remember when this football club won against that one? Because it was something that AI thinks like this was a noteworthy event in this year. And then, hey, by the way, what credit card solution are you using? Yeah. So the personalization doesn't have anything to do with the pain point or the solution I'm offering. It's cool to see, yeah, but I think it's obvious that this alone, yeah, probably doesn't help. Yeah, so and I'm also very vocal about that on LinkedIn. I always believe relevance is more important than personalization. If I either know or can fairly assume that a person has a pain point that I can solve, this will always beat any personalization, especially when it's random and makes no sense. So yeah, I couldn't agree more.
Absolutely. Same goes for good content. Feel like the inspiration tab. Okay, there's a lot of things about the inspiration tab. Scribe shows me the same post for about 2 to 3 weeks. Is there any way to regenerate them in a shorter time frame? Not for now. You can always change the different filters, but as I mentioned, like we know that the inspiration page, like there are lots of like great ideas coming from you from the user side, and we're working on them. So for now, you can only like choose different filters. I can show you that in a second for the ones who want to stay. For the ones that have to go soon, I will just open the goodies. Amazing. So just for 1 week, we have some super nice goodies for you. You can take a screenshot, but they will only be valid until April 10th, 12 p.m. So be quick. From Signalist, Robert, you want to tell them what they get?
Yes, so maybe super quickly showing the screen again. So is it showing?
I think so.
So the first lists went through. So just send me something on LinkedIn, and we will set up a demo account for you and transfer the lists and walk you through if you like. So that's nice to see that it also works. That's always the if you do something live, it can also fail, but in this case it was just in time. Yeah, on our side, we can create demo accounts and create demo lists for you based on your engagement or anything else with up to 500 credits. And if you then continue, we also have a nice goodie for you.
500 credits is a lot. That's so nice. And from Scribe, you will get 1 month for free of your subscription. So also users who already have subscription will get it. So you can use the code Signalist. Just go to your billing page. If you don't find it, just text me and I will do it for you. Text me before next week. Otherwise, it's over. I want to create
Thank you very much.
And yeah, other than that, I can stay for a little bit of like can show you the inspiration page, scan the QR codes. I didn't think they take to any URL. So Atisha, if you're already logged into Scribe, it will lead you directly to your dashboard probably. And for Signalist, it should work.
It should actually go to my meeting page.
Oh.
So
otherwise, I will also, when I send the recording, I will integrate the links again, so it should work. Perfect. All right. So I hope everyone has the code, and here you also get our contacts directly. Amazing. So let me just quickly switch to the inspiration page. And like for the ones who have to leave, thank you so much for joining. It was a pleasure having you, and thank you for the interactive session. It was great. So just look forward to connecting. Amazing. All right, so let me just quickly switch back to the inspiration page. And then we still have some time. Good. So if you are on the inspiration page, this is now Robert's inspiration page. Let's wait until it's loaded. Currently have a very slow connection today. Otherwise, I'll go to my account. A little live demo. All right. Any other questions in the meantime? No. Great. All right. So what you can do is you can change the filters here on the industries. So if I, for example, choose travel, it will show me different people. There's not so much in travel apparently. If I go back to all industries, you can just filter that most recent and most engagement, and it will show you more posts from the people you follow, but there's no way to only see posts from people you follow. So they will be shown to you more than others, but there is no option to just filter those. And then you can, of course, also search for specific people, or you can also choose the language, unfortunately, just the two of them. So that's what you can currently do, and we will keep improving on that section, but it's still, yeah, as everything, work in progress.
Thank
Any
you.
other?
And so that's only on the desktop, right? Because I don't see those options to filter on the app, the mobile
It's
app.
possible, yeah. We'll also improving the mobile view for a lot. Where did you choose the languages? Oh, sorry. If you go here, yeah, but mobile will also be better. So just global, and then you can choose German or English. And what to do with those inspiration posts? Be inspired, and just look through what works for others. What you can also do is a bit similar, like to creating a post from text. You could, for example, say repurpose if you like this post, and it will take it into the text option, and then you can just add your point of view. Example, additional thoughts, and then you can just simply add your thoughts and then turn this into a post that is fed or like based on your knowledge as well. So here you had a question.
Hey, Carmen. Like Marvin, I'm noticing that my posts in the inspiration thing are kind of old. Like there's like in the first row, there's stuff from 2 months ago or 14 days ago.
Also, if you go on most recent, oh yeah, that's true. Weird.
So there's something else going on. Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, perfect. Thank you. That shouldn't be. Okay, great. Great. Fuck, we can always find new ones. Amazing. Any more questions? Everyone's clear and ready to scrape the signals?
I
Yes.
do, if you don't mind. So, I'm considering upgrading to the Pro just for the tone,
Yeah.
so that I can really teach the tone. But I'm not sure. In my experience, AI is not necessarily great with humor or, basically I'm trying to make posts that are more opinionated in the tone without being aggressive. But I'm not sure whether upgrading would be quote unquote worth it at this point based on the state of AI. What is your opinion or experience?
Yes. So if you have already a lot of posts out there, that are in exactly that tone, it will definitely help, because once you have this feature, it will basically analyze your tone of voice. And then if you already have 218 posts that are in this funny humoristic tone, it will use that data based on that. And then you could also follow creators that have a similar tone that you want to have. So it's even more kind of in that sense that you want the output. But of course, it is AI, and it will never be 100% of like what you exactly have in mind, probably, like not most of the time. But what I can say, like I think a similar approach too. Like I like to make it a bit ironic, and it really gets my humor even better. Also, since we switched to a new to ChatGPT 4.5, it's now even better because it can like elaborate more. So I would just advise you, since you have a free month to try now, try it out for 1 month, and then you can still decide after 1 month whether you want to switch back to the starter plan or keep the pro plan.
Okay, so the code is not just for new customers. I can use it as a current customer to try the upgrade.
Yes, it is an exception. We usually don't do this, so
Okay, thank you.
enjoy.
And so I'm still finding my tone. So like maybe it's too early then. I mean, I'll try the pro because there's a deadline on it, but would you say that in general it might be too early to move to pro until I really have multiple posts that have the exact tone that I want?
I don't think so, because you can also add the creators to your tone of voice. It will continuously analyze your post. Plus, you can use further features like the AI photos. You can try the content interview as well, which is a great feature. So there is more options that you can use with the pro feature as well.
Okay, thank you.
Alrighty. Thank you so much for a great session. You will receive the recording in the next couple of hours. And if you have any further questions coming up, just let Robert and us know. Great. Have a
Perfect.
great rest of your day and see you very soon.
Thanks. Bye-bye.
Bye.